Hello, I'm Gallant Skink, and today I'm going to be building a park using only aquatic creatures. That means no aviaries, no regular exhibits, of course, only lagoons. So I'm going to start off by getting some basics down real quick. You know, our arrival point, power station, everything you've seen me do like 1,000 times by now. So, now that we got the most boring part out of the way, let's view our expedition map and see what all aquatic creatures we may have access to. So, marine, there we go. We got the Dunkleosteus, Mosasaur we can't get, Megalodon we can't get. What do we got over here? What is this? Attenborosaurus? You know what? Let's do that. I'm not familiar with it. Looks like a type of plesiosaur. Should be interesting. And I kind of picked a poor spot for my arrival point. There's not much easy to develop flat land around here. But I guess I can kind of curve around here. Perfect. So I'm not just going to create basic lagoons. Usually I'll just make a little pit of water and call it good. No decorations, no nothing. But I've seen videos where people make these really creative, elaborate enclosures by pretty much getting rocks, other decorative items, and making their lagoons actually look like natural occurrences. So I'm going to try that out for a change and give it my best shot. I think I'll put the first lagoon section right here. And wait a second. Oh, okay, I know. I know last time I got one of these, I said ignore the reports. Okay, there's no animals on this island. There's no dinosaurs, no nothing. So, I can guarantee that that is false. I don't even know who's reporting that, considering we don't have any guests in the park. But I think if I go back to here, I might barely be able to squeeze one in. Ah, no. Dang it, that would have been such a good fit, too. I'll do kind of that shape. Sometimes if you do the more odd shapes, it kind of works better for this sort of aquarium design. And, ooh, fossils already. Sell that. Let's get you. Okay. We'll get started on that. But I'm going to go ahead and start designing this first exhibit. Now the main tool I'm going to be using is these rocks right here. So I'll kind of clip that in there and then make sure I have it going all the way down. We don't want floating rocks, okay? We're all about quality in this park. So drag that down. Let's see how that looks from the surface. Ooh, yeah, just a little bit bigger. And I think that would be a good starting point. Yeah, get something like that. And then we can kind of use this rock a few times, just flipping it, changing the scale a little bit so it doesn't look too monotonous. And before I get too carried away, I do of course have to get a hatchery. We'll do it right here, as well as a viewing gallery. And my oh my, what an interesting creature we have here. I think that's actually, yeah, that's higher appeal than the plesiosaur. Okie dokie, the eggs are done. I also went ahead and kind of designed the seafloor down here. A lot of the rocks looked weird. So by the entryway, we have a lot of this sandy bottom right here. But if we continue along, we get this much shallower region covered in rocks. So, we're not going to be able to see this really, but hey, I'm sure the little plesiosaur or whatevers will be happy. And I went ahead and paused the game so I don't go bankrupt while I'm building this. The last thing I'm going to add is some foliage. Alright. I'll be the first to admit, I may have gotten a little bit carried away with the foliage here. And yeah, I think I spent like 30 minutes just intricately placing all this. But hey, I think it looks really good. I can't wait to see it in the daytime. But come on, no one's coming here to look at plants. They're coming here to look at these freaks. So let's let them loose. Oh my, oh my. I'm hoping that this exhibit has enough room for them. Let's see. Oh, they want a male. So I'm going to have to increase my percentage of their genome if I'm going to get that. Looks like they're gonna have enough water. I just need to add some fish, and they should be good. Dang it, I should have included this feeder before I designed the enclosure. Where would be... Okay, this might be a good spot right here. Do that, and then I just need to move these rocks a little bit. And then, because I don't want to go to the trouble of deleting all these plants, let's see if I can't get a little ledge going on here. Yes! This is gonna look fantastic. There we go. So we have like a neat overhang going on here, and it looks awful in the back, but I'll fix it. And actually, I gotta say, I kind of like it more like this. This is a interesting design. Might try to move this rock back just a little bit so it isn't peeking through. Something like that. There we go. And before I get a male Attenborosaurus, I'm going to get some amenities, because if I look at my profit per minute, yeah, not too pretty. Oh, and I thought it'd be fitting to have seafood at our food amenity, and it's actually performing pretty well. You can see already we are making profit, which is a good sign. And you know, I forget these exist, but I can actually get a dome viewing gallery right here. So I'll put that right about there. Ah, of course it's being obstructed. Probably the fishies floating around. And then I can put the entrance right about here. Oh yeah, this was actually a great idea. You get a wonderful view of all these guys. Now, something I found interesting while looking at the Attenborosaurus is that it likes some other marine creatures. I know a lot of these marine animals, they like to fight. They don't want any other species. This one actually seems like it might be able to coexist with some stuff. And I'm almost leaning toward the ichthyosaurs. What is this idiot doing? Doesn't he see the very flat land with an actual pathway on it? Dang, we really do need to get some better employees here. Oh dang, looks like I'm in the wrong business. I'm about to make like $1 million just off of these minerals I just got. And I already know that I'm gonna need another fish feeder, so I'm just gonna remodel this whole area to make room for this new one. And I gotta get rid of all these cypress trees. At least I know now, on my next aquatic exhibit, I'm going to make sure that I have all the feeders necessary before I begin beautification. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and get another one of these, just so I can have a male in the park. And then afterwards, I'll pump out some ichthyosaurs. So here we go, getting the male into the park so that the others will quit complaining. Alright, there we go, 100% on the comfort level. I'm not really sure what these things could do if they weren't comfortable. Of course, in aviaries and regular exhibits, the creatures can actually break out, but if they break out of here, unless it's right next to this ocean, they're not gonna last too long. Alright, it's contract time, and unfortunately I can't do this one because Ankylodocus is not an aquatic creature. And while I really want to do this combat challenge, have a dinosaur with at least 2 fights won, I really don't have the resources necessary to do that. So I'm just gonna go with this revenue challenge. And actually, I think once I release these ichthyosaurs, I'm going to meet the requirements for completing the challenge. Alright, it's time for release. Come on out, ichthyosaurs. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, these things are cute, but I don't know, something about those eyes, they just kind of look creepy. Let's see, are you satisfied? You want, looks like one more in their population and they're good. Ooh, handler injured. A dinosaur handler was injured while releasing a dinosaur from the hatchery. You know, I like to support my employees, so we're actually going to be kind today and pay them compensation. Now, if that was just a random member of the public, then I definitely would not give them money. But that's just one of the benefits of working at... Well, I haven't really given this place a name yet, have I? And I really don't feel like designing like a high quality new sign or building. So I'm gonna be busting out the old sign again. And we'll just replace the word compy with fish. Yes, welcome to Fishland. And before any of you decide to get smart with me in the comments, yes, I understand these aren't fish, they're marine reptiles. But I mean, can you blame me for not wanting to fit the words marine reptile land on this sign? Fishland is just so much more catchy too. And yeah, if you show this thing to the average park goer, they're gonna give it one look and say, yeah, that's a fish. Come on, we're at 221 out of 225,000. Let's see if there's anything else I can add that's gonna make this park better. Well, we definitely need a restroom right here, I can tell you that. And then where is emergency shelter? I've been lacking in those, I know. I'll change up some of these products to give us just a little bit more money. Come on. There. Contract complete. We did not make the time limit, but hey, we still got a pretty good amount. And let's go ahead and let out a few more ichthyes. Here they go, exploring their enclosure. Definitely satisfied on fish. I think I could have actually done without that secondary fish feeder, but it doesn't hurt to play it safe sometimes. Now, I think it's time for another lagoon. I'm gonna try a different style. I really don't like the lights that are on here because the light kind of goes through some of these rocks. So I'm gonna be using the Jurassic Park style of lagoon. I don't know if it has the lights or not. I'm hoping not, but if it does, it's not too big of a deal. We're gonna make this a sizable lagoon. And at first I was thinking, you know, mosasaur. We gotta go for the mosasaur. It's iconic. But really, I've used this thing a lot recently. I think it'd be far more interesting if I got the Megalodon. Only problem is I'm gonna need to either do some training or get some new employees before I can even dig this thing up. And would you look at our new star employee, marine biologist No Hands, the man who refuses to die. Last episode we had him in our casino park. And, you know, he kind of hit rock bottom at that point. He lost his professor's degree. But now he went back to school. He's a marine biologist now. So let's all have a round of applause for Mr. No Hands. And we'll just crank up that logistics score right there. Perfect. A true soldier. Well, well, well. Look who finally succumbed to the error of their ways. The maintenance team that keeps on joyriding all over the place. And it's not just them. Let's watch what this ranger team does. Oh my. Yeah, let's go into this ditch right here. Yep. Do a little bit of that. I really don't know what's up with these guys, but I kind of love it. Okay, this time I made sure to get my viewing galleries, the hatchery, the feeder, everything down before I start putting rocks around here. So hopefully this goes by smoother than last time. This is just kind of our basic foundation here. So I'm just kind of tapering down to the beach, adding small variation. And then I'm going to cover this up with a variety of different rocks and, of course, plants. So on the last lagoon, I pretty much just spammed down the same bush everywhere just because it's big, flat, very green. I just like the look of it. But what I'm doing a little bit differently for this one is I'm really focusing for the gaps in between these rocks, like where they fold over each other. And it's been giving this a really nice layered look. And yeah, I've been putting a lot of work into this exhibit. I got this neat little archway going all the way over. I'm going to continue these bushes kind of throughout. Probably not over the whole rock surface because that would be a lot of work and very time consuming. But definitely a little bit more of that. And then I'm going to do a final pass with some other vegetation to give it that natural look. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop myself. I think I've spent actual hours going through here, putting down foliage. And as much as I would like to continue, I simply don't have time for that. But I did go ahead and include this Megalodon statue right here. And I wonder if it might look better colored. I think yellow actually might kind of look good. I don't know, it's hard to tell because it's nighttime. So we'll see how that looks. If it doesn't look good, then I'll just revert it back to how it was. So I have our first Megalodon incubating right now, and it's going to take 8 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to get some transportation set up, because really, this is quite a long walk just to see some sharks. And I got this finished just in time to let the Megalodon out, so here we go. It's taking its sweet time, dang. This thing's slow as molasses. And I will be naming this Megalodon Blood, which is a suggestion from the comments, and I think it's fitting because it's a very red Megalodon. And you know what's better than one Megalodon? That's right, 2 Megalodons. And you will be Oopie Goopy, another name I chose from the comments. And I dropped him over here. I was thinking maybe if I dropped it over here, it would hang out here a little bit. But yeah, maybe that's not gonna work. They're gonna want another shark to eat? You gotta be kidding me. Well, I mean, I guess that might be a good thing, because I can include one over here to maybe entice them to visit this area more often. And that's actually a great spot right there. Might just need to move some of these rocks so it doesn't look so weird. There we go, and I'm always happy to have an excuse to add more foliage to this exhibit. I might hang around just a second and wait for one of these to eat, because I want to see what their eating animation looks like. Oh, dang! Oopie Goopy really made a jump for it. You know, seeing as this shark is able to easily propel itself up here, it's very likely that if it wanted to, it could just like shoot straight into the audience. But I mean, if they're okay with it, I'm okay with it, I guess. Anyways, I think the next lagoon I want to get is one for the Dunkleosteus. So I'm gonna send my employees over there to get that dug up. Alright, this little event, I swear I don't understand. A museum has heard about our fossil discovery and would like to display the findings. I have another offer. How about you let me keep my bones? I'll make the creature. Whenever it dies, you can get the whole skeleton. How about that? No. No, they want some old fossils. Reject. I don't care about my publicity rating, because that museum is dumb. But anyways, yeah, I just started this lagoon over here, kind of more of a basic shape. I'm not going to do anything too fancy with this one. Alright, so I've been having a little bit of a problem. My ranger team right here has been saying, "Oh, we can't reach this feeder. My bad, boss." So I gotta show them how it's done real quick. We're gonna be doing some off-roading. So yeah, we'll just creep around here. Oh, just a little minor cosmetic damage right there. Ow. Resupply. There we go. So next time you say you can't do your job, I'm gonna call your bluff and fire you. Oh, and I thought I'd name this enclosure the Dunk Tank, because it's gonna have a Dunkleosteus in it, and it's a water enclosure. And I'm synthesizing this Dunkleosteus. I'm just gonna deliver it by helicopter to this enclosure. That way I don't need to make any more hatcheries. And would you looky here, reserve empty. Okay, that's the maintenance team. You all are okay. Where's my rangers at? Ranger team 2, just at the base, doing nothing. Sometimes if you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. Okay, I gotta hit this mean apex. There we go. And then just go through the crowd. Excuse me, everybody. But my workers can't actually do their jobs, so I have to run you over. We're just gonna thread the needle, and can we reach it? Okay, gonna have to do some rock climbing and refill feeder. Can I take this into the lagoon? I'll let you all get yourselves out of this situation. I've done all I can do. Alright, and just because I am a man of science, I built this ramp So let's see if we can get this into the... What the heck? Okay. Just phase through the ramp. Can I at least get on these rocks, maybe? Maybe if I go over here and then gun it. Oh, yeah. Fully aquatic four-wheeler. What happened to the person riding it? Actually, some questions are best left unanswered. We're just gonna delete this ramp. You know, I don't think I could ever grow tired of watching the helicopters transport the aquatic life in this game. It's just so funny watching them flop around. And last one. There we go. So we got 4, and they're all content. Perfect. And I'm looking at all the marine creatures. We have over half of them in this park. All we got left is Chronosaurus, Mosasaurus, and Plesiosaurus. So I think I'm actually going to get every marine creature in this park. Now for Chronosaurus and Plesiosaurus, I might be terribly mistaken, but I think they can coexist with each other because they don't dislike each other whenever I'm looking at their statistics. And oh my, feet are empty again? Okay. As much as I like driving, I'm just gonna remove these rocks, and hopefully now the stupid rangers will actually be able to do their job. Oh no. So I thought I was being smart without adding a hatchery, but you need the hatcheries and the lagoons and the aviaries, or else you can't have your rangers check up on them. So that's my bad. Can I just include a hatchery in the rocks and it still work? Oh my! So they're able to access like this subterranean hatchery that's just like within the rock face. That's fine. But oh, they gotta do a little bit of fancy driving and they can't fill this feeder. You know what? I give up. I'm gonna stop trying to find logic in this game. And you know, I actually do like the idea of having an underground facility. So I'm just gonna make this look good real quick. There we go. State-of-the-art bunker right here. Oh, and let me go disinfect this feeder real quick, because now my team doesn't want to go over here. Perfect, and we'll just park this right there. So I actually had a pretty cool idea for this enclosure, and it actually worked out perfectly. So there's a glitch in the game. You can just look it up on YouTube. Jurassic World Evolution 3 scale glitch. It allows you to scale things beyond their usual parameters. So I have a swimming pool hidden in here, and then I have water, of course, flowing down. So it looks like we have this neat little pool right here, right above the main lagoon. Alright, I have 2 Chronosaurus at the ready, so let's release. Yeah, this one's definitely going to be my favorite. It has that cool black and white pattern, makes it look like an orca. This one's nice too, though. And one of you in my comment section suggested that I name a pair of dinosaurs Dobby and Precious. So here we have Dobby and Precious. And this one, the more I look at it, it does kind of look like a Dobby. And here they come, the plesiosaurs. The little Loch Ness monster looking freaks. And my oh my, I did not realize how big the Chronosaurus is until I saw it compared to these plesiosaurs. They look absolutely tiny in comparison. Anyways, I have 4 plesiosaurs here, and I'm going to be using 4 more of your names. And what are they? Did they just kiss? What a bunch of little weirdos. So here we have Cutie Pie, Dipton, Gabriella, and Speed Schnitzel. And I'm just going to continue holding on to hope that these Chronosaurs don't decide to turn my plesiosaurs into a snack. But now that I have that lagoon out of the way, there's only one aquatic creature I have yet to add to the park. What the? Dead dinosaur? Ah, wait a second. I usually have this set to unlimited lifespan just because I think having your dinos die of old age is sad. Although this Attenborosaurus seems to be just as lively as ever. At least it wasn't one of my named dinosaurs. I'm sure this guy's gonna make a lot of hungry people happy. There is really not a good spot for this. I guess... Is there a way I can... Yes, I'll connect it to that secret little tunnel I have in there and then cover this up. Yeah, right now I'm pretty much doing the Jurassic Park equivalent of kicking an ice cube under the fridge, but it seems that our audience here is none the wiser. And dang, 14 minutes for this thing to incubate? That is crazy. Imagine if I didn't have the triple speed option here. That's still gonna take forever. I guess I can use this time to make the cliffs look better. And I must say, I am impressed with this game's ability to render this many decorations. Like, I feel like this wouldn't have been able to exist a few years ago. Okay, finally I can release this thing, and I wonder how that's gonna go considering it's within the rocks. Okay, that actually just made things 10 times more terrifying. And you know what? I came up with a cool name for this guy. Moses, the Mosasaurus. Alright, what's going on? Why aren't you eating? Is it because I have too many rocks by the shark? I guarantee that's it. My bad for designing you such a cool exhibit. Now go find your food. Oh my gosh, this thing is so dumb. Look. Okay, you need me to get rid of all of these rocks? Let's see. Delete. Delete. My beautiful creation. All of these rocks are going bye-bye because someone's too stupid to find the food. Alright, there we go. Really? Get this guy out of here. Okay, let's get rid of all these rocks over here as well. I'm gonna have no rocks at all next to this shark feeder right here. We're gonna give it plenty of room. And it really doesn't have an excuse either, because it has the ability to go through rocks. I watched it plow through this mountain face over here, but oh, there's a rock too close to the shark. I'm not gonna jump for it. Get out of here. And you know what? Just to add a little bit of decoration here, now that it's so ugly, I'll add this Fishland sign. But I made sure to turn collision off so that we don't have another incident. Oh, wow. Look, Oopie Goopie's going to the other... Oh, never mind. Every now and then, I come look at these Megalodons and see if they're gonna enjoy their really cool enclosure with 2 parts. And they never do. They just like to stay around here for some reason. Alright, take 2 on the Mosasaurus. You know what? You're gonna be Michael the Mosasaurus. Oh, yeah, you're already an improvement over the last one. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode of Jurassic World Evolution 3. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.